Welcome to Adrift and Aldhalor, our weekly actual play D&D show. What'd you say, Shannon?
I said I'm not on screen. I was waving, but I'm not on screen.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying I said something wrong.
No.
Anyway, welcome to Paradice. Our music is licensed through Musicbed.com, and occasionally we use TabletopAudio, usually in other Oh, shoot. I forgot that I changed the cameras from Mike last week. But hopefully this will be fixed in 2 seconds. At least long enough, because I got Shannon in her proper frame for Shannon to talk about our partners while I fix the rest of the cameras.
Excellent.
There she is.
Hey, now I can wave because now I'm on screen. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday, or whenever you are watching this. Happy day. Hope you are all doing well, and welcome to another day here in Paradise, another D&D sesh. So let's get into it. We're going to start with Underground Oracle Publishing. They are a TTRPG publisher creating new worlds in the Cypher system and beyond. For as little as $3, you can become a member through their website and gain early access to their developing TTRPGs and each of the worlds that they create. Next, we have Eddie Yorke. He is our character artist and an illustrator based in the UK who makes arts for games and books. So, if you'd like to get in contact with him or visit his gorgeous portfolio, visit eyorke.com, and that's Yorke with an E at the end. Last but not least, we've got 1985 Games. They create affordable, accessible, high-quality accessories for D&D and other TTRPGs. Throughout this campaign, Sean has used their NPC cards, and they come in a variety of decks, and Sean bought all of them at PAX a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. And we've used them in our campaign to make real fun characters for us to interact with. And they include things like, they have art on one side. Oh, I'm so sorry. And then on the back, some sweepy. And on the back, they have things like goals, quirks, flaws, personality traits, secrets, all these things that you can use to jumpstart a character when you need one for your game. So if you'd like to purchase those or any of their other products, you can use the code paradiceprod for 10% off your entire order. I am a teeny tiny bit behind the VODs, but most of them are up there, and I will get on the other ones stat, assuming that the recordings have been uploaded. Have they been, Sean?
You made me do it last week.
I did.
So everything is uploaded.
So I'll get right on that. And thank you to everybody who's been watching our backlog. We appreciate you so much. And I promise I'm really excited. I know. I'm really excited to play. I haven't eaten a lot today, so I need to get some food. And
get yourself a Coke.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna. It's been a long couple of days, but I'm ready to play. Are you ready with your screens?
Yes, it was very easy to fix, actually.
Excellent. Okay, I'm gonna order my food now, and then we can play. Well, we can play. I'm just
okay. No, we're gonna wait. Actually, everybody, until Shannon orders her food.
Can we help you decide? Let's make it into the
yeah, Shannon. What are you getting? I bet you I can guess.
Let's make it a game. Is it McDonald's?
It's McDonald's. It's 2 cheeseburgers and fries and a Coke.
What kind of cheeseburgers?
Oh my lord!
You don't get something on it. Is it pickles that you don't get on it?
And something.
Are you kidding me? She loves pickles.
Wait.
No pickles or onions.
When I was pregnant.
No pickles or
onions.
onions.
Correct.
Just ketchup, cheese, and burger, right?
No
mustard. But also, I leave the mustard on there. Weirdly, I don't mind it on these burgers. But
it's interesting. I feel like you wouldn't like mustard.
I don't. But when it's mixed in the cheese and the ketchup, I don't really taste it. Also, it's not just a 1 cheeseburger.
I said 2.
Well, it's not a single patty.
You got a double,
you get doubles?
A McDouble?
No.
Double cheese?
No.
Do you like get a
Ketchup?
chicken burger and put it inside of your
I get a
hamburger?
triple
Oh, that's called a McBang
cheeseburger.
Bang.
Yeah, I was trying not to say
Yeah, get a
that.
McGangbang.
Nah, I get triple
It's very good. I used to get
cheeseburgers,
those all the
y'all.
time in college. Do you really?
I do.
You get
Is that
2
new?
triple cheeseburgers?
I do. It's I used to get 3 when I was right after I was pregnant. I was
Fair.
like starving all the time after I had Nolan, who's 1 today.
So
y'all.
really, you had 2 cheeseburgers and Nolan had a cheeseburger.
Yes. But then after he was Earthside, I still had 3 for a little while because I was breastfeeding, and you got to keep up the calories.
So he was still eating it.
Yep.
That's true, one way or another.
Was. Sure was. So no, that's what I'm gonna order, and yeah, fries and a Coke, because that's my caffeine.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. One moment, and I will begin our recap. Last we left off, and by the way, Steph will be joining us in a moment. He just had to run out real quick. Last we left off on the 20th of the Shining Shadow in the year 1326 on a Sancta. Iron and Mana recovered from their fight in the Admiralty Court against the AEC. And the Machina, which they have, using Septimus's Gesh spell, taken as an ally. They discuss what their next move is, and begin to take a short rest while Jacquet goes to speak with Emile, the governor's man inside of Hyven. They also have a captive. Captain Dakarin of the AEC is still held under Jacquet's suggestion spell, because the spell specified that he needs to turn himself into Iron and Mana until Iron and Mana accepts his surrender. He is stuck in this suggestion spell. During the short rest, Fyrn searches the area. He finds a chest with a spyglass, 4 potions of healing, 1 potion of maximum power, and a sending stone that seems to be paired with the one Jacquet has, off of Desario's corpse. Seemingly, this is the means that Desario communicated with his commanders in the city. While Septimus talks with the Machina to learn a little bit more about it, learning that it has less of an individual personality as Sal does. But he does learn that the Machina seem to have felt something akin to free will briefly. And Septimus is able to sort of correlate this with when Sal was also experiencing some supernatural call from the west, the northwest, in the direction of Halcyon. The Machina is friendly and willing to work. He also learned a little bit about its internal mechanisms, seeing that it is basically a jerry-rigged, reverse-engineered ancient Machina. It has similar parts to Sal, but they don't look like they're designed with as much elegance. They also seem to have some kind of metal bands bound to the circuitry, the wires within, that may be clues into how the Halcyon artificers are able to retrofit these Machina or control them. Elsewhere, Jacquet speaks with Emile, where he learns that the Zahn fleet is likely to show up at any moment, that he had sent word to the governor, which we had learned through Septimus, but specifically that the reinforcements are a potential local Zahn fleet, as opposed to the governor himself, which would take a bit longer to get here. Emile tells Jacquet that the Zahn are hard to control. And if they go through with their plan of infiltrating the ship, if the Zahn arrive, he can't guarantee they won't attack the ship while they're on it. He said he will try to beseech the Zahn captain to hold back, but that it would be particularly difficult if the captain is, or the commander of the fleet is the commodore of the Zahn himself, who is a very stubborn man. The party finishes their short rest while Jacquet returns, And Fyrn can see with his new spyglass that the Alumno Defiance has started engaging with the AEC at the gatehouse, the last garrison of AEC soldiers within the city, with their reinforcements cut off by you infiltrating the headquarters. So, the party heads to the gates to join the Alumno Defiance. Jacques makes a bet with Saskia that he can get the left flank of the garrison to surrender without a fight, but unfortunately he does not succeed in that persuasion. The party engages with the left flank, and through some clever manipulation of the battlefield, but mostly the smashing and laser beams of the Machina, you destroy the enemies. Fyrn did also go in and basically make a pink mist out of the minions and the sharpshooters, but you were able to successfully take out this flank, take out the left arcane cannon to become the relief for the Alumno Defiance, who, though they've taken heavy casualties, have eliminated and captured the remaining AEC agents. We left off with you linking up with Captain Hastings in the courtyard of the gatehouse, and that is where we ended last week. So, you have the city back in your hands. Hastings is here and alive. The Zon are coming at some point. Iron and Mana, what would you like to do?
Looking to the group in Hastings, Jacques goes, "Well, we've done it. We've taken back the city. Good job, everyone."
Yes, it's been well fought. But
One hell of a day.
Day's not over yet.
now the hard part, indeed.
Right. What's the plan?
How soon before we move on the carrier in the bay?
We can perhaps take our shields and cannons and set them up in the harbor. Have our soldiers prepare a defensive line just to get things started.
Against what?
In case something goes wrong with the ship and we need to defend against it.
Fair enough. I think the real question is, how do we get to the ship? We can take the Ana Flores again, but I don't want to risk her, and it might be
conspicuous.
Yeah, that too.
Is there any value in? Because I can breathe and swim underwater, so I might be able to get in. I don't know from below, but I don't know how that helps any of you.
If we wait till it's dark, Jacques could maybe fly in with his cape.
But that leaves the
Right,
rest
so
of us
that's-
stranded on land.
Exactly.
Hastings, you've dealt with smuggling things into the city. Are there any smaller vessels that you have used in the past?
Certainly. There are many. He sees a little out of breath, and he kind of takes his hand from his side, and he does have some wounds from the fight, but he's not in any critical state. There's certainly plenty of smaller, quieter vessels. I mean, the city is known for its smuggling, and we utilized many smugglers in our time here. I don't know how many are in the city, but I could probably find their vessels, at least.
Would it be manageable or fast enough to make it to the dreadnaught out?
Well, if you were to... Last I looked at the bay, if you were to leave from the shipwright portion of the harbor, you'd be closer to the vessel. You could hug the coastline, try to conceal yourself a bit, and then take the shortest path towards the dreadnaught.
Septimus looks at the rest of the group. Fiona and I take that in the cover at night. While we follow you, one in the air, one in the water.
That works.
Sounds like a good plan. What time is it now?
I would say it's in the afternoon.
Okay. We've got some hours.
Might we have
Potentially
time?
long rest.
I was just about to ask, might we have time?
No. Unless you want to go, you know...
We want to go in the dead of night, so... Maybe?
If you're trying to go, like, truly in the dead of night, then you'd be going at, like, 1:30, 2:30, sometime between 1:30 and 2:30.
What's wrong with that?
You could fit a long rest in that time.
Just saying.
Thing
Captain
is,
needs a
if
rest.
we get a long rest, everyone else gets a long rest.
Yeah.
But who's everybody else?
And-
It's more
want
time that they
more
are...
time.
Yeah.
Two things. It's more time for the Zon to potentially arrive, and two, it's more time for them to be doing repairs in the ship and be more operational when you get to it. The ship has been under repair for a while now.
Right,
Didn't
since
we just-
yesterday. They've already had a long rest.
Yeah, they've had a long rest as well.
When did we... That was yesterday?
You guys, it's been a very
Morning.
big packed 2 days that you guys have had, or day and a half.
Mm.
Well, it's
Alright.
been
I
a
guess that
big
is the
packed
question then, is
less
like,
than
what-
a week.
It's been a packed 6 days or 5 days.
Well,
I imagine
then
we're
can
just
we-
talking in character of like needing a rest and not saying
Right.
that, but like, so then I guess that is the question that arises: what is the benefit of trying to infiltrate the ship? Should we just wait for the Zon? We've secured the city. Do we just take our
And
victory?
let them get all the glory? No.
Can we at
Iron
least...
and Mana needs
Sorry.
to show that we're capable, more than capable, of defending not only Hyven, but taking on the Kirinor Empire. This is where we make that statement. And if we can take that dreadnought, a Halcyonic dreadnought that they would rather see destroyed than captured, our credibility's through the fucking roof, baby. That's what we need.
Are there any chances we've got blueprints or some sort of map of...
As you're saying that, you look
This-
over at Hastings, who's giving you a big grin. You can see some of his gold teeth. Blueprints, you
What?
say?
Yes, that would be incredibly helpful, especially those of us who are going like this.
Why don't we go back to the gloveless
Persico's
cat?
going to get the... Persico's got them back there behind the green screen.
Why don't we go back to the gloveless cat? Have a late lunch. I can...
Here they are.
Ah!
And I can show you my rough blueprints. They're no artificer's blueprints, but they are from my experience with these vessels.
I just need something, a way in, a way out, and what the hell we're doing when we're inside.
Well, shall we head over then?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we make this at least an hour-long lunch where we're sitting and eating, please?
I think you have plenty of time to rest a bit before you decide to go.
Wonderful.
Especially if we're waiting for nightfall.
Yes, which granted, like, you don't have to wait till the dead of night. You could wait until just at least the sun sets.
Yeah.
Right. I just need
Yeah.
dim light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just need, I need my spell slot back.
Well, don't you
Which-
have that esoteric right you can do for a minute?
Stop knowing my character sheet better than I do. Yes, I do. Well,
it's not
once per
just
long.
you.
Oh, it's once per long rest.
You haven't used it yet.
I haven't used it yet. Fine. I guess it doesn't really matter because we're gonna be sitting.
Right, we're going to take a short rest anyways.
Yeah. So you leave the battlefield, and you can see Hastings, as he walks ahead of you, does seem to just sort of like be checking in with some of the soldiers he passes by, peeking in on where they're healing people. As you're walking, like, you have a place to be, so you're not really stopping. But Septimus, maybe for a brief moment, you do make eye contact with Cade Bolton, who has, blood streaking down the side of his head. He's clearly not critical, but he looks like he's just been through quite a skirmish. But he does just sort of give you a nod as he's sort of sitting with the healers around, where you can see there are people on actual that are actually being tended to, and then people covered in whatever they can find, sheets, anything, who are more dead. And there's sort of an unspoken assumption in that look. But once you leave the sort of smell and gore of the battlefield, the city, again, is very quiet, but at least this time the quiet is a little peaceful, as opposed to the maybe more tense silence of, is there AEC hiding in that building that we're about to pass? You get to the Gloveless Cat, and as you all take a table, Hastings tells you to go in ahead of him and rushes to one of the tents that is in there, and comes back in and lays out this crude drawing on the table. It is not a blueprint, but it is it's a likeness. But it has a drawing of the ship. It has, the scale is off, but the measurements are correct. You can see the 400-foot length of the heel, and you can see dimensions indicating that the ship is 80 feet thick, or the beam is 80 feet. There's measurements that say that there's 60 feet of freeboard, which is the part that's above water, and another 60 feet below the water. And you can see sort of the outline of where the actual, what is inside of it. I will actually send this picture to our chat, but I'll just sort of describe what he points out to you in his general sort of breakdown of what you're facing.
What is the displacement of the ship? Do you know that?
I don't know, Mike, but I was starting to look up a lot of these things, because it became one of those things where I was like, all I really was looking up at first was what generally a ship of this size and this type would have for its freeboard and draft, and then I started to get into well, what's a good ratio for heel to beam when it comes to ships, and then I saw so many things that I was like, if I had seen these things a week ago, I would have way too much information about this ship. And then I sat there and I said, that's not what we're doing here. I'm not doing a physics emulator of a ship, so I'm going to focus on other things.
Okay. Well, I'm going to picture it being the Bismarck, and it's going to be freaking huge. So
huge.
I mean, it is a massive ship. But visual wise, if you're just thinking about a pop culture reference that everyone would get, it does look like just a giant version of a Fire Nation ship. But instead of that black iron, it's a more pristine metal that has that violet sheen over it, and it doesn't have these tall steam smokestacks. It actually doesn't have any sails or anything that you can see from the exterior that looks like it should have any means of propelling itself. But when you look at the diagram, he points to the different parts of the ship, and the area he points to that is probably most critical to you is he does point towards where the arcane engine is, and that it is in the back of the ship, below the helm of the ship, above the waterline, and that it has systems that descend in a column through two more layers of the ship that are system areas where they probably do other engineering on it. But generally, if we're going to split the ship up, let me send this to y'all. There are 4 like layers to the ship. 3 of them the full length of the ship. Why did it send the wrong direction? Anyway, the lowest level is where he points to one of the entrances to the ship. So there is, he points in this diagram, some sort of arcane propelling system that is connected to the engine through that pillar of systems. Immediately to the right of that engine is an area of the ship that says boarding vessels. It looks as though the halcyonic ships don't send like little ships across the water to go land somewhere. They actually go under the water and send almost submersible landing mechanisms. So there is a magical entrance on the bottom of the ship below the boarding vessel dock that is sort of a magical barrier that someone can swim through or exit and enter through potentially. Immediately next to that, filling the rest of the bottom of the ship, is the prison quarters and where the machina stay when they're inert. The next layer is where there's most of the crew quarters, and then the engineer's lab for anyone who's working on the arcane engine. The arcane engine is connected, or the systems area is connected to a supply area for the arcane engine. You go above that, and you have any supply depots. You have a few areas that are just in between spaces that I've labeled there as vestibules. There's the kitchen, the engine room, and then above the deck is the war room and the captain's quarters. And then above that is the surface helm. Now you'll see in the diagram a large bubble that is over that. You don't see a bubble right now. Hastings explains that this is sort of a lattice work of magic that goes over the helm when the ship is engaged with enemies. That is sort of an intangible, somewhere between a magical field and a physical object that goes up and actually does look like a lattice work of magic. And he says that at the helm is where the captain or the navigator can basically, similar to a spelljammer ship in traditional lore of D&D, there is a pilot seat, so to speak, a chair and a helm of control to operate the vessel itself. The vessel can be operated manually by a crew, but a ship captain or navigator can, if they are clever enough, smart enough, and skilled enough with the ship, can technically pilot the ship completely on their own. Now, it's an incredibly dangerous way to pilot the ship, but it is a means that someone can, with limited crew, operate something like this. And then the captain's quarters is attached to the war room and its own personal supply depot beneath it. You'll see a small diagram that looks like the hull itself, where it has the sort of metal of the hull and then a system inside that has these square circles that he points out that these are the armaments of the ship, that they are the hull opens up for them to be fired, but they also can move within the hull. So if they need to rearrange the place that they're firing from, there is a mechanism within a weave of cannons, essentially, that they can manipulate to allow them to shoot from any point on the hull itself. The little circles with little lines coming out of them is the means that they can see outside of their ship, because you saw no portholes, nothing that you can look out of. They have magical scrying technology to be able to go to specific areas and be able to see outside of the ship. He also explains that the lattice magic work of the helm, called the Oculus, has its own system of scrying eyes for the captain of the ship to be able to get a 360 vista of all around the ship when they're operating out of the just, we'll call it the dreadnaught throne. He points at 2 other areas of entry. There is obviously a entry hatch on the deck itself leading into the belly of the ship. The only entrance into the war room and captain's quarters comes from at the face of the sort of fort area, the helm, or from the engineering bay. The third entrance into the ship, which is the quietest and the most dangerous, though, is through the waste and exhaust pipeline. which is at the back of the ship and is very difficult to infiltrate because it is very hot inside of it. And you would probably not be able to spend a lot of time in there unless you had means of protecting yourself from fire magic. Or really, truthfully, the byproduct of the arcane engine. And that is his Halcyonic Dreadnaught 101.
Right. So, what is the ultimate goal here? Are we trying to disable the arcane engine? Or what is the end goal here? I'm doing some backwards planning here.
We want to capture the ship and take it for our own.
How exactly do we do that with the entirety of the crew all on board? Imagine a ship of this size carries at least 100 men and women.
This is like a mutiny, essentially.
It's nothing like a mutiny. It's aggressive negotiations.
It's a fucking mutiny.
Well, no, because we would have to be members of the ship to be mutineers.
Well, let's think
we're
about...
a hostile boarding party.
Okay.
Infiltrating.
You know what? My captain lingo is a little rusty. So just
I don't think that's captain.
Her sentiment is correct. How do you expect to convince all members of the crew to lay down their arms?
If we, as a boarding party, are successful in, I mean, the ship is already disabled, but for confirming that it would be like getting a hold on the ship itself and acting as a sort of distraction, we could then maybe bring our people on the Anaphlorus with one of those shield devices and perhaps invade and take over. But we shouldn't risk our people until we can confirm that the ship won't explode when they are having problems. So I think our primary goal should be to disable the self-destruct mechanism of the engine by shutting it down. If we can do that, then we can use our, manpower to take over the ship.
Hastings, what does a normal crew for a Kyranor dreadnought look like?
Remember, we'd seen up close that they were running a skeleton crew the last time we were near the dreadnought.
It's almost impossible to understand what the crew size is from the exterior because they don't need to do anything on the exterior. They don't need to hoist sails. They don't need to... the only thing that happens on the deck is if the captain or navigator is crewing the throne, in which case then they would have more people on deck. Like I said, there's entirely a chance that there is a skeleton crew of engineers, a navigator, and the captain, and the rest is entirely crewed by machina. These ships are usually a blend, though. They usually have certain machina servants and then a formal crew in case of boarding, though it is very difficult to board one of their vessels. So you could be looking at anywhere from 100 to 300 soldiers or crew members. If they had those numbers, though, I surmise they might have already tried to take the shore when their allies were struggling.
Well, you're assuming that Kyranor cares about their Avenirian colleagues.
Yes, this is not the full might of Kyranor. This is their warning.
Septimus, would you have any sway with the machina on board?
Trying to understand exactly how they work. If getting to know the one that they launched at the gatehouse earlier, do you know of where they're? The machina that were on board, is there a storage area for them, or a place where the maintenance is done, or
The lowest deck. The machina that they launch at the shore of the invading land they're invading, they don't usually have a lot of those. They usually just shock troopers to send in before, to see if they can convince the sieged city or location to surrender.
Oh wait, which one of these on the map there? Which one would it be? On the
very bottom, that long one on the left or right.
Prison
slash machina quarters.
Oh, it says machina. Yes, it does. Okay.
What, you can't read Sean's?
I can't read Sean.
Scratch?
I'm sorry.
I have bad handwriting.
Well, he was doing it fast. You don't need to. Allow me some time to try to understand more of our friend that we have. Maybe I can have some more insights as to how they're controlled.
We also know that there's the ambassador on board who was challenging, along with one more of those violet vanguards. And Hastings, when you assaulted the gate area, did you happen to come across another one of those violet vanguards? The Kyranor Knights?
No. We thought we were going to have to face one, and we're lucky that we didn't. Otherwise, we'd have many more casualties.
Well, our information said that there were 2 in the city, and we dealt with 1. So that leaves another one that could have found their way back to the dreadnaught, or is hiding out somewhere in the city, which is its own issue, but one that I don't think we don't have the manpower or time to do a full sweep looking for one individual. So that's at least 2 Vanguard Kyran Knights, Ambassador Zorakwa or
Xenaqua.
something. Yeah, something stupid. Thanks. On top of a crew of, we'll say 100. Be safe. So to the original question of how are we going to do this, Jacques drums his hands on the table. That's a good fucking question.
I have some ideas just spitballing out here. I don't know. Perhaps we can... They seem pretty arrogant despite their terrible situation. Perhaps we can convince them with that we are surrendering. Maybe bring them, Saskia disguised as a mule, and find a way to sneak into the ship, with them, break into the ship that way. I mean, it might be an easier way to get people onto the ship that don't know how to sneak. Like,
I think our initial way in of taking the dinghy to the ship,
but this Oculus is giving them a wide range of, detection. We could get blown out of the water unless you guys have a plan for that.
Well, if the ship is truly disabled and has not sort of quietly kept its power hidden, their magical artificing is not working. If they've not gotten the engine back up, then it means that they have to manually look through some of these things, use their own magical abilities. They can't. If they're a skeleton crew, they'd have very poor surveillance because they don't have traditional ship portholes. They'd probably have more people on the deck than they normally would to keep an eye out if they're smart. But Kyranor intelligence is a different kind of intelligence. I don't know if they always see the obvious thing.
How's your swimming feeling?
Not bad. Quite athletic.
No, I don't think we should worry, or I don't think we need to worry too much about using the dinghy and Sass and Jaquette's abilities to get us in the vicinity of the ship. But once we get possibly within 100 feet or so, if we can go beneath the water, I think our best bet is going through here, as he points to the boarding vessels. That way we go underwater, and we stay at the bottom of the ship, try to attract as much less attention as possible, neutralize any threats there, and that brings us right immediately to the Machina's quarters. If I can understand more about how they function, maybe I could find one that has not completely been controlled with the bands that they're placing on them, and see if I can try to rewire or reroute some more to be on our side. Because that's going to be our only allies on the ship.
I also have the Geish spell prepared if there's somebody we want to.
The problem is that the machines I don't know if they will understand. I think part of my ability was speaking the language.
Yeah, I didn't mean for the Machina, I meant for somebody on board, somebody in charge who can convince the others to.
The problem I have with this plan, although it does seem logical, is the fact that if you do succeed, we will be very far away from the captain's quarters in the war room, where they most likely will make the decision to scuttle the ship.
That's where I come in. While you guys are having fun in the bows of the ship, old Jacquet will fly in from above, make his way through into the engine room, and make sure that none of those halcyonic fuckers can get close.
I can fight my way into the engineering lab while Septimus does his work on the Machina, or defend him if need be.
Hastings, do you know where they have these self-destruct buttons?
I can't pretend to have that much sophisticated knowledge, but there's undoubtedly part of either the engine room or the system chamber below it.
Yeah, it would either be built in, or it would have to be in the hands of somebody who's in charge. They wouldn't make many of them, otherwise these things would be blowing up all over the place.
And from our spies back in the day, although they may have advanced their systems, a single crew member can't initiate the overload. How many it needs, I don't know, but it must at least be 2.
It seems like it would be one of those situations where you have to have your hand on this one while somebody else puts your hand on another one, kind of thing.
It's likely a 2-part ritual of magic of some kind.
That too.
If it isn't an artifice interface.
I'm imagining 2 keys that they have to turn at the same time.
In a suitcase?
I don't know why. Suitcase? What's that? I don't understand.
What a ridiculous idea.
You know me. Always a dreamer.
You have to beat a Machina in a game of chess.
So, I need to speak this out loud so I can solidify it in my brain. I'm going underwater. Jacquette's going from the top. You 2 are taking the dinghy. Am I then going to lead you to the boarding thing underwater and getting there, and then the 2 of you will be in the prison / Machina quarters, Fyrn defending, with Septimus talking to them?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how I imagined it. Is that the 3 of us?
I guess that could be me too defending, because I was going to say, where does that put me? But then you're all by yourself, Jacquette, up at the top.
Yep.
He's good at running away.
Excuse me. I'm good at not being seen. Whether or not I'm running away, you never know.
So Jacquette, then my question for you is, if I could get up there with you, do you want backup?
I think it's better if the 3 of you stay together.
Okay.
And I'll infiltrate by myself. Four of
There
you,
is-
sorry.
There
Looking to
is
sell.
there is another threat
How's
if they get the ship operational is that they could initiate a teleportation away, bringing you to Kirinor.
That just brings us closer to our enemy. It's not ideal, but worse things have happened to us.
My assumption, since they haven't attacked yet, even in just bombarding the shoreline, that might be their goal, is escape before destruction, of course.
How does the teleportation mechanism of a ship that size work?
That's what I was just about to ask.
Do you know where they would where that's initiated from? Is it the engine room?
It is the most difficult thing, or at least from my understanding, the most that needs the most attention. This we don't know for sure, but the engine must be a part of it, and I presume, from what information I've gathered, that the captain's throne is a part of it as well.
Did you see what the engine runs on?
No,
Blood.
he doesn't know exactly what the engine runs on.
Blood
Other
from
than
right.
that, it is highly
teeth of children.
volatile magic of some kind.
Oh my god, they captured Eyeless. It's just in there.
There's an elemental trapped in there.
Probably.
There's only two forms of power that are known to power things like this, and that is elementals and sophisticated Zaxwell spheres, but Zaxwell spheres are incredibly hard to create.
And we all know what elementals are like when you free them from giant mechanical devices.
Yep.
Maybe
So,
we just
I
let
think-
them have the ship. It seems like too much of a headache.
Look, we can, and if that's what the party wants to do, then that's what we'll do. But I think that this is the ripe opportunity to show Hyven, to show the governor, to show Halcyon that we mean business. We've already protected the city. That's true.
That's
We
what
can
I was gonna
stop
say.
here.
Is that enough to show them that we mean business?
That's enough to show that we're capable. To show them we mean business. To really go plus ultra. We need to take the dreadnaught, capture it for ourselves, and show Kirinor that we are a force to be reckoned with. Right, Hastings? No one else has captured one of these before?
No, we've infiltrated them, but never captured one.
So we'll be the first.
Is it worth it? And I'm fine if that answer is yes, but I just want to be absolutely certain before we go in there.
Ask me after it's done. He gives her a little wink.
I'm asking you right now.
I literally can't answer that because I don't know what it will cost. None of us do. And that's the inherent risk of doing what we do.
High risk, high reward, I get it.
Well, we're wasting time here. Do we have any other plans or questions?
Yeah, I don't think we ever resolved. How did you come back? Jacquet says, gesturing to Hastings.
I'd tell you if I knew. I just woke up on the shore.
Bullshit. I'm
Why
not
would
even
I
rolling
lie?
insight.
I don't know what power dragged me from the grave you gave me. But I opened my eyes on the shores of Hyven.
You see Jacquet's brow furrows, And he looks annoyed at that answer, as if that's not what he wanted to hear.
Since
He
you've
would've-
come... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say he would have literally liked any other answer. If he had been like, "Oh, Enkranash brought me back," Jacques would be like, "Yeah, that works better for me. At least that's an answer." But the knowledge that...
Okay.
Go ahead.
Since you've returned, have you noticed anything different about yourself? Have you seen anything strange? Besides the invasion and all of the chaos that's been going on, but do you feel any different?
I used to. In the first many weeks that I was back, I would suffer from nightmares of the sea, of being deep within the sea, and whispers from the dark, and then it just abruptly stopped one day.
Fyrn looks at Saskia.
Yeah. What kind of whispers? Who did you ever see who was talking to you? And
It's hard to hear them. They were very cryptic, but the one thing I'll always remember is there's an eye that would appear in the water and stare at me. And then one day, I never saw it again or heard the whispers again.
did that
You know
happen
what day
approximately?
exactly?
I was just about to say, did that happen approximately in certain number of days here when I killed what's her face?
Yes, actually.
Well, you don't need to worry about whatever that is anymore. I took care of that for you. Can you do are you an Eldritch Blaster as well?
I don't know what that is. I'm just a soldier.
You can't do magic?
No.
That would have been a month and 2 days ago. So
Thanks. No magic at all? Nothing? Have you tried?
No, I have not.
I'll try. See if you can do this. And and I'll just through an open window, just blast. Just one.
Jacques looks very cross.
You hear some guy outside go, "Go!"
Oh, my
leg! Someone shot me in the leg. He looks at you like, I can't do that.
I'm so confused. Well, I guess good news is I know who did it, and they won't be a problem anymore, and you shouldn't have any more nightmares or hear anything. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm an old soldier. I'm used to nightmares. I just presumed they were like any other dark nightmares.
No, eventually she would have probably asked you to do something for her, and she wouldn't give you straight answers, and then you just go and find yourself a new friend. I turn back to my plate.
Yeah, friend, that's one way to look at it.
Enigmatic as always. Hi, Enigmata.
Oh, stop.
Is there anything else you need from me? Or can I tend to my soldiers?
Once your soldiers are tended to, please prepare. We may need reinforcements once we've, begun the mission. We will, I suppose we could send something or give you some sort of sign to let you know that you can start the attack.
I can certainly provide what I can and be at the ready. We don't have ships, though.
Sass, perhaps you can use the Anafloris.
Yeah, I just need to go speak to them, but yeah, for sure. If you promise not to fuck it up. You may borrow her.
That's my line.
We would just be using it as a means of travel.
All right.
Passengers, if you will. If any fuckery happens, it is not our fault. It is your crew's.
No.
You have to watch for one particular fellow. Or I suppose two.
Two of them. Yeah.
They're an interesting bunch. I don't know where you found either of them.
You know, we just happened upon each other, and I'm grateful. They're
What are they, Gustav and Jesse?
Seppi.
That's me.
That is you, but it's Giuseppe. Seppi for short.
That's
Maybe
very
weird.
odd that you guys have such similar names.
Are you trying to replace us?
No, of course not. No.
Kind of feels like you are.
Okay, you know what? Do you all know how to man a ship?
Yes.
How hard can it be?
Okay. You know what? I don't know where I was going with that. So anyway, fuck all of you. I'm gonna go talk to my crew. And out I go.
Okay. Hastings will leave alongside Sass. Give you a nod as he heads back towards the gatehouse to tend to his soldiers.
I guess I'm gonna go hunt for a dinghy for us to use.
Well, I guess Hastings says he could find one for us, no?
He did.
Well, I'll follow his lead and, get it outfitted.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do anything, so have fun.
Okay. Yeah, Sass, you can get to the Ana Flores.
Yep. I'm gonna go walk there, and as soon as I get within like shouting distance of the ship, I'm gonna be like, crew meeting, let's go, everyone on deck. We've got shit to do. Now, hopefully they all listen.
Laura
jeez.
is there. Prim
She's
and
still
authoritative.
alive? My gosh. It's been
Fuck do you mean
days.
Of course
she's
she
still
is.
alive. Of course I am.
She's our fearless leader.
yeah.
Why wouldn't she be?
Yeah.
Have you seen the shit that's been going on in the city?
Were you doubting that I was going to come back alive? Because I don't like that.
These...
He was.
Tell me you didn't bet on it.
Eh,
Fucking why? You know what? I don't want to know. Listen, there's going to be some shit happening. You see that big fucker out in the bay? My
The one
my
that
friend-
we already went to?
Yeah, that one. My friends and I were going in there to try and take it. I don't know what's gonna happen. It's we have a plan.
Well,
But-
it's a good
nuts.
thing you. It's a good thing you didn't involve us, right?
Ah,
We don't have anything to do with the invasion or anything like that, right?
not with the invasion, but there might be some passengers coming aboard. There's a man by the name of Hastings who you are to listen to and get him anything he needs, because we may need help when we're over there in case shit goes south, and they need means to get there, and I have offered the Ana Flores to go over there. You don't have to do any of the fighting, you just need to get them over there.
Wait, so this Hastings character, what's his role on the ship?
What do you mean?
I think you just...
Well,
Were you just
well,
listening? She just said passenger.
yeah.
But
I mean,
he's a
he's-
passenger that we have to cater to. Is he a royalty or something?
No.
Is he a
but-
business partner?
No.
God,
Okay.
please, just do what the captain says. Sorry, Captain Saskia.
I was just curious.
It's been like this all freaking day.
I didn't get to the top of my class by not brown nosing a little bit.
Oh, I didn't even fucking ask. How are you all doing? Are you all right?
I'm scared.
Yeah. Honestly, I am too. But
Ready to serve, Captain.
thank you, Clara.
Gusto's getting a little restless, but I took care of that.
I am sure that you did.
It was so loud. I've never heard humans or halflings make that kind of noise.
As you say that like coming out from below the deck, yawning is Gusto, and he just wanders over like, Captain, sorry I'm late. Seppi, looks like you owe me some money.
Oh, you did. You fuck
Hey.
you. All right. Also, I forgot what I was going to say. It's been a long 2 days, y'all. So, moral of the story, Hastings and some soldiers come aboard. When they ask you to move towards the ship, please move towards the ship and drop them off and get the ship out of harm's way. All right?
As you say.
Thank you.
You can trust us.
Can I? No more fucking.
You can
All right?
trust
Just
us.
Say
Ty-
that.
or, Clara says, gesturing to Tyga and her.
Yeah. Save it.
Oh, what if we have failed you?
Well, he was late,
Not once.
so.
Oh, I'm here.
Yes, but you missed the whole meeting, so somebody fill him in.
Seppi's gonna fill me in.
Mhm.
We're taking the boat to the other boat.
Oh, that's what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Do you all need
Clairvoyant
anything
as
before...
ever.
Anybody need anything?
Yeah, filet mignon, a little lobster.
I recently lost $100. Would you mind spotting me?
No, that's your own fault, and don't bet anymore because we're gonna fucking do this thing. All right?
If you're gonna be in danger, do you? I mean, are you feeling okay? Do you need any healing or anything?
If anybody's got some healing, I will absolutely take it. Yes, because I've actually almost died twice, 3 times maybe. So if you can get me back up to full, that would be incredible.
Aura of Vitality, concentration 1 minute. I'm just gonna have her sit in the aura until she's healed up.
Yeah.
It lasts for 1 minute, 2d6 hit points per 10 seconds, I guess. So you could just say she's healed.
Amazing.
Let's see. We'll see about that. How much health do you need, Sass?
I can't do math that fast. I need about, hold on, 40 something.
Yeah, you're all healed up. I didn't have to even get to the 10th one.
Thank you. I
was rolling hot
37.
on that, actually. Those heals.
Yeah, I needed 37.
All above 6 for
Amazing.
7 of them.
Thank you. Oh, and when that... Ty, you are incredible. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's the reason you're my first mate. You're always thinking.
Appreciate that. And you're not gonna leave us with this Hastings guy. Just to be sure.
He's not the captain. He is a captain, but he is not the captain of the ship. I am not giving it to him, and no one is allowed to give it to him in my absence.
So, like, if he tells us to sail off into the sunset, we should say no?
Yes, you should
Why
say
the hell
no.
would we listen to him? What is with you?
Sorry, this is your your first mate?
We're gonna be out. I mean, if I don't know who this guy is. If he's as tough as Saskia, we don't stand a chance.
The
He is
captain
The
wouldn't
four of us
have-
together can do anything.
The captain wouldn't leave us with a rogue psychopath that's going to try to commandeer the ship.
Unless she lets
Oh,
Jacques
maybe.
back on board.
he won't do anything with the ship if he knows what's good for him, so don't worry. And if for some reason that he decides to try and steal the ship, do any of you have any sort of messaging or ability that you can
No,
tell
but
him?
I can set him on fire.
Okay.
I could send you an animal companion with a note, or I could jump overboard and swim to shore.
I'll just look for the flames. Okay.
Excellent.
Great. And after I give each of them either a hug
smooch.
or a high five or a smooch if they want it, I will
I'm just
venture back
for a
into-
mother.
Mwah. Seppi gives you the double cheek.
I'm all about it. And
And then as
I'm serious.
soon as she walks away, he goes over to Gustav. It's like double enough. Then she comes back with another patron.
You're on.
Amazing.
Want to go double or nothing again on whether or not she survives?
She's probably. It's not good.
Can't fool you twice. Never could. All right, so the crew of the Anafloris is prepared to shepherd the Alumna Defiance to the Dreadnaught if it comes to that. I think the only other thing that you guys wanted to do while you're resting and preparing is Septimus wanted to investigate the Machina a bit more.
I did.
How many hours will we have?
How many do you want? Oh, until like the sun actually sets, you have 3 hours, I would say.
All right, Jacques will spend that time making his potions or his poisons.
Perfect. All right. I think before I jump into the Septimus part, I think we'll take a short break.
Okay.
We'll be back shortly, friends, to investigate some Machina and infiltrate a ship. Welcome back, everybody, to Adrift in Aldhalor. Our heroes have hatched a plan to infiltrate the Kirinor dreadnaught,
Flawless
with
plan.
3 of the party members approaching from below the water's surface, and another using his ability to fly in from above, while the ship is still inert. Doesn't have all of its defensive capabilities, with some allies waiting in bay in case they need to do an all-out assault on the ship at some point. They have a little bit of time to rest now. It's about 3 hours, a little less than 3 hours till the sun sets, and you want to approach when it is at least dim so that Jacquette can fly. But for now, they are preparing, whether it is resting, or like our friend Septimus, interrogating or investigating the machina that he has control over right now. The Kirinorian machina he has control over.
Fyrn's collected a bunch of seaweed and like ghillie suited up the
Oh my god.
the thing.
The dinghy.
Yeah, and he went back to the fortress and got his own oars that he can use to oar it like really fast.
Yeah, the oars he prefers.
Yep.
Excellent. But Septimus, the Kirinorian machina followed you all back to the Glomus Cat, so it's just sort of there.
Sorry.
It's there behind the tavern near where like the stables are. It's just kind of sitting there in the courtyard.
All right. Septimus would approach it. Be like, might I have another look at your core?
It doesn't say anything. It just opens itself up like it did before.
Septimus will go and examine it.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing he'll do is he'll look at the band that's attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he understands this being a kind of a communicational link between the Avenarians and
Kirinorians.
or the Kirinorians, sorry. The Kirin.
The
and he'll try-
Kirinese.
Sometimes called the Kirinese.
Kirinese. And he'll attempt to. Well, I guess he'll just kind of like investigate it further, as far as how secure it is attached and what it would take to remove it.
Give me a Arcana or a Religion check. Or you could also just do a bare investigation.
Doing Arcana check.
Okay.
21.
21. Okay. So, in generally just sort of discerning the magic of this machina with your knowledge of machina and with your attunement to machina as well. So something you also notice is sort of akin to when you started to investigate Sal's parts more. You, based on what you learned from just studying Sal, you can sort of create one-for-one comparisons between Sal's machine anatomy and this creature's machine anatomy. So everything is where it's supposed to be, except it has these iron bands on it, and it has that sort of crude Zaxwell sphere I mentioned last time. You know, it's a really like hard, almost indestructible glass orb that has a little mote of magic inside of it that is essentially the heart and engine of any machina. Sal had one. You repaired Sal's and imbued it with your sacred flame a while back when he first died or was destroyed. The bands on there seem to be formed of arcane metals, possibly homebrewed by Kirinor, or like you, salvaged from ruins from the Kirin Dominion in the old Morsier conflict, that have their own homebrew enchantments upon it. Specifically, you can tell that the arcane sigils on it are not the same as the runic language on Sal's armor. So they do appear as though they... And the other thing I wanted to say is that you kind of have this new sort of sense of the machine. Sort of similar to when you were able to identify that there were Machina on board the Dreadnaught. Sort of the blessings of Machina and the cinders that you control, your cinders of fate, they help you with like delineating the effects of things. And these are exactly what you think they are. They bind them to service. They're akin to other magical artifacts that might create some sign of enchantment upon something that might have the capacity to operate of its own free will. So they seem to be built into the system as if these are features, not add-ons, because this is a homebrewed machina. But they could be removed delicately. You sort of think back to some of the tinkering you did with Bruce and some of the delicate work you did with him, and that these are not, while they are part of the overall machine, removing them would not destroy the machina. You don't know what the Kiranor have the ability to do to this. Perhaps they do have a kill switch that they can incorporate onto this. Luckily, this machina is severed from any control that some other entity has over it. But if you were to correlate it with an equivalent within, like, regular arcane magic, this is like a control person sort of effect. Like, it makes them purely controlled automatons. Like, even if they had any sort of free will or curiosity, it's muted by this entirely, if it exists at all. But they are, like I said, they are removable.
How long would you say it would take to do so?
It would take for a single machina with just delicate work, just with your own sort of hands and skills with tools. It would take an hour, roughly.
What if you tried brutish force? Is that even possible?
The thing's not indestructible. You all almost destroyed it yourselves. It's just a matter of one wrong pull or twist or something, and you sever some of these wires, and it becomes an hour of work anyway, repairing the machina. But it's possible. It's just harder to succeed. You're slow and steady, or fast and risky.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, hold on. Some teeth are catching in the gears. How much time do we have before we initiate? With T minus what?
I would say after doing some of this work, 2.5 hours.
Okay.
Hold down the factory reset button.
For 5 whole seconds. Till the light blinks.
Look at that thing.
What the hell is that? What are you thinking about?
So I have 2 unused dispelling stones on my person. Now, granted, I figure that the dispelling stones, if used in the conventional way, could potentially dispel the band's magic, but it explodes in the radius foot, affects the Machina as well, and probably would shut off its Zaxwell sphere, rendering it useless.
Potentially. Depends on if you think of Zaxwell Sphere as a 5th level or a lower spell.
That is true. That is true.
Perhaps if you risk destroying this Machina, you can reverse engineer it if it's removed.
Well, I don't want to burn a stone right now.
Well, how
what
many
I was
stones did Fyrn pick up?
Fyrn picked up.
Oh, dispelling stones?
8.
Yeah, you
You
found.
definitely picked up 8.
Jesus Christ.
I have 3. What are you talking about? 8?
There were a bunch of them that you guys did find.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you picked up a lot.
All right.
I would say you guys have quite a few of them though. Like you don't. It's not like you have only 1 each or something like that.
If you want to give me more, that's fine, but from my notes, I had 3. I've been holding on to them for quite a while. I've used them as well.
Septimus to know that he found all those, right?
You would know that the party has a bunch of them. Like everybody should have some. Because I don't think everybody used them in. You guys have used some, but you have definitely not used however many you guys acquired.
All right. Well, then, in that case, Septimus will pull out a dispelling stone.
You also know where there's at least 2 corpses that probably have them on them.
Right.
In front of the AC headquarters when you two killed that patrol.
Well, I guess looking at the bands here, like, is the magic still in them, even though like the Geish spell is influencing the Machina?
Yeah, you could tell.
Could I assume that once that Geish ends, that it would revert to being controlled?
Yes. That it would revert to whatever it is being sort of tasked with by whoever controls these bands.
So Septimus will pull out a stone then, and say, "Forgive me if this terminates you," and he'll throw it into the core, or into with the bands,
into the chassis.
Yes.
You throw this dispelling stone in, and it blazes in the sort of a flash of blue arcane energy of dispelling magic. And you kind of at first have to avert your eyes as it shines bright. When you look back, you can see, well, 2 things happen. One, you know that your own Gesh spell has been dispelled. Because it's a 5th level spell. Mm-hmm. And then 2, you see the bands burn away. And when you look at it, at first, whatever emotion might overcome with this is a fascinating new finding. You think you see a flicker in the Zaxwell sphere. And it starts to the whole Machina starts to shake a little bit. And then you see the Zaxwell sphere burns away and vanishes. The red light on the face, essentially the oculus of the Machina, turns off, and it is just a red crystal there. as it seems as though this did destroy the core of the Zaxwell sphere. Or at least the Kirinorian version of it.
This janked up version of it.
But Septimus, Herald of Machina, you can see and feel light still within the Machina. Light that was not present before. Something sparking. The heart of Machina is part of its equivalent to the body, its anima, if it were to have any. But Machina don't have traditional Alma souls. They do have wisps. Something that's almost a simulacrum of a soul. Perhaps, depending on what your theory of Machina is and what you study.
My old theory, but do I see like these wisps kind of around it at all, or is it just a feeling?
It's more of a feeling
really,
at this part. Yeah.
I guess I won't. If I wait for a second, does anything happen? And if not,
you sit in the dimming light outside here with this inert Machina as the sun begins to set in the distance. Not setting yet, but cresting closer to the horizon. And there's a, like... At first, you're just feeling this wisp, and for a moment, you almost feel like it's fading. But it's not gone. And you hear somewhere deep in your mind a very faint voice that has some of that same sort of gutturalness of Machina. Don't let it slip away. Awaken, awaken. Bear the cinders of fate. Seize the next step in your destiny.
Hearing that, Septimus will kind of channeling the cinders that are floating around him, bring him to like the palm of his hand. As he'll conjure his sacred flame, and then kind of in Machina's tongue, like wisps of the fallen Machina here. Let the light be your guide. Return to your corporeal form. As he tries to, I guess, be like a beacon for these lost wisps. And then, I suppose.
See what happens?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see, as you focus these cinders, they sort of burst into a plume around you like a perfect sphere where they're equidistant apart, and just sort of rotating around you. When they like touch the earth around you. They sort of smoke out, but then come out some distance away, as if the circle is moving through the earth itself. And all the sound outside of this circle seems to fade for a moment as you sort of are focusing with your hands in prayer. As you can see, your sacred flame bursts into the sphered heart of the machina, and whatever's left of the bands that were once enchanted, they literally burn away into cinders themselves. And you see a surge of wisp-like energy, those same like faint blue wisps of machina that you're familiar with, sort of surge through the wiring of it until it sort of like flashes with a similar light to the dispelling stone, and then there is a small sacred flame burning in the heart of the machina. And you just hear in your mind,
this one is awoken.
and the light goes on. The red crystal that used to be its oculus shifts in hue and color to the light blue. And the machina is sort of, you can even see the oculus kind of like twisting and turning and moving as if someone waking up and looking around confused. As you have freed your first Kirinorian machina.
Oh. Looking to it. Let's say, still speaking in the tongues. This unit is now free. And with that freedom comes with naming itself. What would this unit like to be called now?
The entity sort of stands up now because it was kind of in like a lowered inert state. It's sort of similar to an animated object, something that is now sort of given self that didn't have it before. It looks at its massive fists that are meant for war and destroying, and it's like feels the energy within it. It is armored, it is large, it is on all intents and purposes a fighter, a warrior, and it looks into the distance in the now rising dim pinks and oranges of the sky as the barely eclipsed sun, since we're about 10 days away from the new year, starts to get closer to the horizon.
This unit will be called Setting Sun.
A fitting name. It's hard to deny the beauty that still exists in this world.
Is this the will of my own you spoke of?
It is. A will and a freedom to set out of your own desires, continue to learn and experience all that the universe has for you.
Do I have to fight anymore?
That that is up to you.
I would like to sit here for a while.
I understand. It's a lot to take in at once. I must go for now, but I'll be back. And I can help put things into place.
Thank you.
And it literally sits. It like plops down. And just stares at the sun setting.
Okay. If I have any time, I'd like to take a short rest.
You do. You have enough time to take your short rest.
Okay, perfect.
And anybody who else who wouldn't like to take a short rest can. But soon
I
enough,
did earlier.
the sun does set.
It rises on a grateful universe.
you.
It's been years, man. It's been years.
I know it has. And night takes over. Yes, Michael. Yes, Septimus.
I was gonna say before you can preempt what if you were just gonna say what we plan on doing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you guys come together. So
okay, so coming together, Septimus would say, "I have some information that could help us with the machinas." As he holds up one of the other dispelling stone that he had, but knows that Fyrn's carrying a buttload more. The dispelling stones are the key. If we throw them directly into the chassis, or get it inside of the machina, it breaks the spell binding that the Kieranese are holding on the machines. Simultaneously, it also will dispel the primitive Daxwell spheres of the machina themselves. However, with some time, I can willingly bring the wisps back into the machine, but it's uncertain of their usefulness coming into the world and understanding free will. Setting Sun needed some time to think before he fought again.
Who?
The Machina. He wanted to go by Setting Sun.
Poetic.
So, are you saying that we get into where the Machina are and we feed them this thing, and it may or may not help us take over the ship?
My idea for now is getting into the Machina Bay and seeing what sort of force that is there. I don't know how many are active, how many are operating right now, if there are any currently offline that potentially don't have any bans. That would be something that I would need to look into more. However, if we come across an active Machina that is aggressive and hostile to us, the Dispelling Stones are the best way to neutralize.
Understood.
Good to know.
with the caveat that Septimus put there that it need the
Just
stones
make
need
sure
to they need to make
you need to open
contact
it.
with the inside of the machina.
Yeah. You can't just throw it onto the exterior of the shell. We need a way of opening up its chassis and throwing it inside.
So how do you open up the chassis?
Looking to Fyrn, it's like, well, either brute strength Or then looking back to you and just like, we're figuring out another clever way.
Tickle him.
If this band is what's causing them to be controlled, perhaps we can find some way to shut them down or force them to, open up if we get our hands on a terminal or some sort of, control panel in the Machina wing. But this is all guessing. I mean, we might end up going in there and having to fight an army of these things.
That's why stealth is going to need to be key if we're looking to succeed here. Can't win a full-out fight. We need to infiltrate, disarm, dismantle, and disable.
And win.
Fyrn sighs. He's like, "You sure you want me to come?"
Obviously. Iron and mana is only iron and mana when we're all there.
I just feel like I'm going to end up doing what I always do and beating the crap out of everything I can see.
Isn't that what you want?
Well, yeah, but I also don't want to lose if it's a losing battle.
We'll be fine. Be positive. Come on, guys. Come on. Iron and mana. We got this.
Fyrn just sighs and says, "Fine. We'll see what I can do."
Okay. So, we got a dinghy. We got a bat cat.
Flyboy.
Sorry, a bat tabaxi.
Taxi.
Tabatsky. You can make your way to the harbor amongst the bowing ships there and boats that have been stuck there for a little while. Some of them have suffered some significant damage from the great wake of the waves when the ship arrived. Jingling in the starlight and moonlight above of the eye of Illyvania in the sky. You can head up to the northern side of the harbor, where Fyrn has prepared a gillied up dinghy, and can embark. So, Sass, are you just jumping in and swimming?
Yup.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump in and swim.
Okay. And then you're just gonna stay close to the boat, so when they reach the point, they can join you in the water. Okay. And then Jacquette, you are taken to the skies.
Fly like a bird, I only fly away. I don't know.
And I'm
where the
assuming you're
home is.
invisible too.
Of course.
Okay. So, who's rowing the boat?
Hello.
Row your boat.
Okay. So the three in the boat, I would like to give me a collective stealth check. And then, Jacquette, you make your own. Yeah, okay, sorry. You make your own stealth check under the boat. Septimus, oh my god. I'm on one of your character sheets, and whoever's dice just made all that noise.
It's
I have to get out of
be
here.
mine.
I have to get out of here. There's too much noise.
I gotta get out of here.
Okay, so Septimus and Fyrn give me
advantage.
stealth checks.
Hey. It's the 19.
Doesn't matter, it was a nat 20.
Yeah.
I got
Doesn't matter.
It's at
I got a
20.
12.
Okay. And then Jacquette and Saskia, stealth checks.
26.
25.
I win.
Well, for now.
Did I fail the saving throw, Sean?
I'm saving throw the stealth check.
So what would that be?
We win.
Oops, 12. No, you do not fail the stealth check because Septimus did better than you. And the average out meets the DC. So,
Christmas.
So you two, it's probably a situation where Fyrn, you're trying to row fast to get you there quickly, and Septimus at some point, slows you down, tells you take it slower, we're getting too loud. And we both know loud. As you two sort of skim along the water, it's certainly making noise. Like a really perceptive ear would definitely catch it, but you don't see any signs from the ship. Like there's no light, lantern being shown on you, no magical force revealing your location. Saskia, underneath the water, you maybe you hear that it's a little loud the way they're rowing, but then you hear it quiet down and you don't see any disturbance, and you're just kind of, I imagine, just like staying underneath the water, but like just abreast of the ship itself. While Jacquette, you dart through the skies, and you can see, now that you're above this, you can see that there are some patrols on the top of the ship. They perhaps indicating to you what Hastings said, that they don't have full control of their surveillance magic while the ship is inert. And you can see basically there is a 2 sets of patrols on the main deck that sort of stay equidistant from each other, but sort of move like this, one on each side, going in alternate directions along the side of the ship. While there is 5 guards set up on the Oculus Bay, just sort of at equidistant parts to have a semicircle watching the back of the ship. Based on how you're approaching the ship, these guards in the Oculus Bay would be the ones who should be the ones catching Fyrn and Septimus with looking down at the water. But perhaps not just the averaging out of this dinghy stealth, but perhaps the excessive gilly packing of it has made them not notice exactly what's approaching them. As if maybe perhaps Ilyvania herself graces your stealth infiltration with a few clouds covering her moonlight. But Jacquette, you are, I would say at this point, you are hovering above the ship, while your compatriots are approaching 30 feet, 20 feet, 10 feet from the side of the ship.
All right. Looking for any movement. So I can see that there are 3 entrances from the top of the ship. The rearmost into the captain's quarters. Mm-hmm. I guess 4 technically. 1, 2 that go to the war room, and 1 into a vestibule.
Correct.
Which one seems to be the least guarded?
The one on the 2 on the helm, even though there are people looking from there, they are more so looking out. There are, like I said, 5 guards on the helm, while there are 4 sets of guards on the bay that are moving around. So you got 5 versus 8. You also have more entrances. The only thing is you would be entering right into the captain's quarters or the war room up there, as opposed to a vestibule that might be a little less dangerous.
And so what do these entrances look like? Are they like hatches? Are they doors
These
with
ones
windows?
are all hatches. The one that is the third one from the left is a door. That one's a door. The one that's at the front of that layer.
Okay. I think Jacquette will drop down at the captain's quarters in the back.
Okay.
Careful of the guards. And sneak down into that entryway.
Okay. So with a 25 stealth and being invisible, these 5 guards do not see you. You would land on this deck, and you would be like a good solid like 10 feet away from one of these guards who's just on the side right now. There's a railing that encircles the Oculus. And he's just sort of staring out, looking about, like squinting, as if maybe he's like, I thought I saw some seaweed. I looked a little large. Must have been the wind. But you you see the hatch there. And you can how would you like to slip in?
Quietly.
Okay. So, before we go to your next entrance, we're going to do our other friends. So you guys are, Sass, you maybe dip your head out of the water. The other two, you are, your ship is kind of like, the dreadnought is immobile. Or at least if it's moving at all, it is so imperceptible to you, even though like it is being affected by the waves. Something about it just keeps it from moving with the current too aggressively. So it's fairly stable. As you 3 though are in kind of not tumultuous waters. It's actually a pretty calm sea right now, but it's still moving. So the thing to be aware of is that the water is moving. When you leave this boat and go into the ship, your dinghy may not be in the same place if you try to get out this same pathway.
I would like to poke
This is
my
a
head
one-way
out
trap.
and like kind of tread water next to the boat and just say, let me go see what we're dealing with here. Let me just go get eyes on the entrance, and then I'll come back for you.
Okay, go.
I don't need to do that. I can breathe underwater.
You do it for show. All right, Sass, you swim underneath, so you swim down 60 feet to the bottom of the ship.
Yep.
You have dark vision, right?
I have true sight, baby.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So, you stay close to the ship so you can just kind of trail down, and then you can see there is this sort of faint red light that penetrates the black water. You are not so deep under that there's still some little slivers of moonlight that breach the water, but it's pretty dark. Even though you have true sight, you understand that it's dark. And you can see this red light coming from this rectangle that looks like roughly the size of a large dinghy. And you can swim towards it.
Yeah, I'm looking for like a way to get the non-water breathers in. Like, am I gonna be able to like help them find a safe place to go in?
So, from what Captain Hastings said, this rectangle is the entrance.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's like a magical force field, right?
Yeah, there's like a magical film that keeps the water from entering into the ship.
Okay. Okay. And then, so, sorry. Is there a something there, or it's just like a magical barrier?
It's just a magical barrier. It's like, you ever seen a glass bottom boat?
Yeah.
It's like that, except instead of glass, it's magic.
Okay. I have a feeling that if I try and cross it, or anybody tries to cross it, something may happen.
You're at the edge of it right now. And you can see that it is sort of like this warping field. And the red light is not the magic. The red light actually seems to be coming from inside the room. This seems to be sort of just like a grayish ethereal light that takes on the color of whatever light shines through it. But you're like basically like holding on to the edge. So it's not like it's not flat to the bottom of the boat. There is like a little bit of a jut out, and you're like maybe like holding on to that sort of just so you don't like float away. Thinking about what you want to do next.
So if I'm looking up into it, can I see like where like we would set foot, or is it like one of those things where like you go in and then you'd probably be able to
give your perception check.
Set foot? 14.
It's because of the like waviness of the film. It's sort of like if something was constantly, like the surface of water was just constantly rippling over itself. It warps the inside, so you can just sort of maybe see a little bit that there might be a platform, you know, right above it. You can also see large objects sort of like very like gently like swaying a little bit in there.
Okay. All right. I'd like to go back up to the dinghy and just tell them what I see, and so poke my head back up. Right. So there seems to be some sort of magical shield, force field around the entrance. My concern is that if we breach that, it's going to set off some sort of alarm. But I could kind of make out a platform and maybe some machina right in there. I could try and dispel whatever wards or shields might be around it, but again, in doing that, I'm afraid that's going to set off an alarm. What do y'all think?
Did you happen to come across any fish while you were down there?
Did I happen to come across any fish while I was down there?
You're so used to swimming in the sea that you don't really notice fish unless they're large enough to be concerns. Yeah. There's probably a fish somewhere down there.
If you can get hands on one, maybe you willingly toss
a fish in there?
Yeah. See if you hear an alarm then.
I'd still...
Our first skill check of the skill challenge.
We didn't come all this way just to sail back. Well, I'm going in, whether it's an alarm or not. We need to get in there.
All right. So, Septimus, you can breathe, right, underwater?
That's the neat thing. I don't.
Well, that's right. You don't breathe anymore. All right, Fyrn, how are you going to be able to hold your breath for a couple of minutes?
Probably.
That's all right. That's not reassuring. All right. Do you both want to come at the same time?
Yeah, let's go.
I still like my fish idea.
It's the same thing. Fish aren't stupid to just swim right through it. I'm sure they'd be like, why is there a fish here? Let's go. Get in the water.
Fyrn dives.
3 of you now in the dark water.
I holds their hands or guide them because I know they probably can't see.
They can see dim as if it was dim light, so they can see it as if it's a black and white, and they would have disadvantage on perception checks in the space, but they can see it
nonetheless.
Yeah, Septimus will take your hand because maybe he's not completely over his fear of drowning, even though he cannot drown.
Yeah.
And you all swim over there. You are all in the same place I just mentioned Sass was, where you're all kind of holding onto the bottom of the ship and can look through and see it's like about like 6 inches from the edge of the rectangle that is this ethereal grayish red rift.
I motion for Fyrn to go first because he needs the air.
Yeah.
Can you talk underwater?
Me?
Yeah.
I think Fyrn would want to go first anyway.
Yeah, you can. I'm just saying you wouldn't. You used to be able to talk underwater when you had the Sea Witch as your patron, but now you can't. You just can breathe underwater. I'm pretty sure, because it's your it's an invocation you have, and it's your armor now. Actually, I think it's just your armor. Actually.
I think it's the armor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Fyrn basically shoots his, like, he's kind of like doing a punch through, like he's like violently like forcing his fist through it, but he's really like going to try and reach and pull himself up like from the other side, like he's just hoping that he could like phase through the, like he's testing to see if he could phase through it first.
Okay, this is going to officially start the skill challenge since both parties are now at the actual precipice of entering the space. So I'm going to ask everyone to roll initiative for the skill challenge. Jacquette, I'm going to give you advantage because you would have gotten here first before them.
Oh, balls.
Oh
no.
Hell yeah.
Sean, I rolled 10 times better than both of them.
Not true. Would you roll a 0? Because 10 times 0 is 0.
Septimus, did you get a 0?
Yes, I did.
That just means you don't get to go. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have an initiative.
He has infinite turns.
It's like Y2K. You broke the computer's calendar. Sass, what'd you get?
4. I rolled a natural 1 plus 3.
And then my friend Fyrn, what'd you get?
12 total.
I was like a 40. Okay, so this is going to start the actual skill challenge. Now, this skill challenge is just for safely getting on board and undetected. That's it. So it's the lowest amounts of successes needed of any of the skill challenges because you're just getting on board. So in that sense, you have to get at least 2 successes in ensuring that you are undetected and quiet while in here. No, as a group. Where for Jacquette, that's the thing with Jacquette is he's alone, so he has to make all the successes on his own.
Gotcha.
In these situations. So Jacquette, I gave you advantage on your initiative because you technically got to the ship before they did.
I'm also invisible, so.
Oh, you
gives
get
me advantage on.
Nice.
Well, fine. Then I don't give you advantage.
That's a natural 20 for 25.
Okay. All right. So I said to them, we're on our skill challenge now for just infiltration, which is just getting on board. So it's got a lower threshold than the others for victory. You only need 2 victories, 2 successful skill checks to be undetected in some way. Now you are at the hatch. The hatch goes directly into the captain's quarters. You've got 5 guards around you. At this time, they've not detected you, based on your own movements. What would you like to do on this turn of the skill challenge? What skill would you like to use in this infiltration. And earlier I said in our pre-show that you can only use one skill one player can only use one skill once. That is per skill challenge. So if you say use stealth now, it doesn't mean later on in a different skill challenge you can't use stealth. It's just for this singular skill challenge.
I am going to use sleight of hand, so that someone else can use stealth down the road, to slowly, carefully, and quietly. Though the quietly.
Oh no, you mistake me.
Here.
Every person can use a skill once. So if you use stealth, doesn't mean they can. It just means you can only use stealth once to pass something.
Okay. Well, I'm still gonna use sleight of hand to open this.
Yeah. I would say that would be wise, just because that's like your trump card, the stealth.
Right. 33.
I mean, it's also, you are literally built for skill challenges, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yes, so sleight of hand, you are able to utilize the sleight of hand here to get a success, because it's not just that you open it, it's that you open it very quietly and just enough to be able to look inside to get more information. Also, not so much that the people would notice the sound of the edges of it or the metal creaking, and you peek inside and you can see the captain's quarters underneath. It is you did so well in your sleight of hand that you're really properly controlling for how much of the warm light bleeds out from the crack that you've opened, because you can see it's immediately to the cold moonlight outside. You see the warmth, the sort of orange and red warmth of a really, really comfortable space. You can see there are tapestries hanging from all around. You can actually immediately there's a little bit of a waft of good food coming through. Not enough. You can keep it closed enough so that they all don't smell it. Although they probably already smell it, and they're like, "A fucking captain, I want that food." No, they're more disciplined than that. These are not AAC agents. And you can see the captain is pacing in there. You can see a.
Sorry.
It's not Xenaqua. It is a different Halcyonic elf. They are in a long robe that is ornate with silver filigree all over it, with a green undertones. And they just seem to be walking back and forth in their evening gown. You see a glass of wine that's half drunk on a circular table in the middle of the room that has a map of Hyven on it. And they just seem to be pacing and looking at this map. That is your first action in the skill. So we're going to go to the next person, which is Fyrn. So Fyrn, you can do what you wanted to already do. But you need to find a skill to associate it with it to try to succeed at something.
Okay. So my plan was to get inside as quickly as possible, and just, if an alarm is set off, search for a way to shut it off, or if there was somebody who spots me, like, immediately take them out. If it's an empty room, then perhaps just rush to the nearest, like, entrance.
So this is like 10 different skills that you're throwing here. You need the one thing you're doing right now.
I'm focusing on athletics. I'm swimming. Okay. I'm climbing up as quickly as I can into the boat. Okay.
All right, give me an athletics check. Those other things will be secondary challenges if you were to fail or not or succeed.
Okay. Does a 24 hit work?
Okay, Fyrn. 24 is a success for you. Make sure I mark down these successes. So, Fyrn, basically what happens is you utilize your athletics to make this a very smooth action. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're quiet, but it means that you're going to get in efficiently and quickly and be inside. There may be secondary challenges, but that depends on one other aspect. So you sort of come up the sides. You're at the edge, and you sort of do that first initial just sort of hand up to feel out what happens when you interact with this. You put your hand up, and it goes through, and you immediately feel warm air on your hand, because it's also extremely cold in the water. We're coming to the end of the beginning of spring and the end of winter, so you're all shouldn't be spending very long in this water. So it actually feels very nice immediately to feel that warmth, and there's no trigger. Nothing happens. Nothing that you can perceive. And elsewhere in the ship, Jacquet, you don't hear anything either, though you don't know that something's happening. And you reach up until your fingers find an edge. And then you very athletically pull yourself up and over and in one fluid motion. Sort of, I imagine with that athletics, just sort of like immediately using your strength to slide into whatever kind of safer spot you can be. What you get from this is that you're in a room that has these red crystals on the ceiling that are creating that red light that was coming through. And it's about 30 feet tall, the roof, the ceiling of it. And then, like, hanging there on mechanical parts are these basically what you would view as large dinghies, but they are not open at the top. They are, like, completely closed. They're actually almost, at first you think they're coffins all around. But you remember Hastings saying that this is a boarding vessel bay. But it doesn't seem like anyone noticed you.
Are there any, like, there's no, like, surveillance things besides maybe those crystals that I can see of or notice?
Nope. So, these turns, like, you can do, like, general things as well. Like, if you just want to move, you can move as well. Or if there's instead of a skill, you want to cast a spell to try to do it, and then we'll tie a skill to that spell. But Saskia and Septimus, you see Fyrn successfully enter without triggering an alarm. Would you like to follow suit?
Yes.
Okay. So Fyrn, these two bring themselves up as well. The three of you two nothing happens yet for you guys, but you're all kind of together now up there, having only used movement and Fyrn's action to understand the space a bit more. Now that you're here, the three of you, you can see that you're in this chamber that is a long hallway, flanked on either side with these hanging boarding vessels with these red crystals every 10 feet or so along the way. Without any kind of checks yet for skills, you can see forward towards the front of the ship. You can see the hallway does end, and you see a iron door there. Everything is made of metal in here. You're completely enclosed in metal. And at the end, there is this iron door that has a little window on it with bars on it.
And remembering from what we saw from the drawing, going towards the bow would lead us to the Machina room. Is that
correct?
What the iron door is?
Mm-hmm.
So, behind that door is probably where the Machinas are.
Well,
Should head there next.
Yes, it's the prison and the Machina quarters. So, yeah.
Now there's no other entrances or exits besides the magical barrier and that door. So you've only half infiltrated in that sense. In the same way that Jacquet has only discerned what he needs to get through to infiltrate, you have seen what you need to get through to infiltrate. So you don't know what's beyond this. So you can use skills here
You
to
said-
try to successfully
you
know
said there
what the
was a
next
window?
steps are. There is a window to the door.
Can we go up to it and look through?
You can use a perception check, or yeah, really only a perception check for looking through the window. That could be your skill for your turn, or Sass can do that. Technically, Sass is up, but only one of you needs to succeed on something.
I guess that's true.
But remember, if you fail on something, there is a chance for secondary things to happen.
I would like to make an Arcana check and see if there's any sort of magic on this door.
Okay. So you're going up to the door to do an Arcana check to try to see if there's any sort of magic on it. Okay. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
9.
So that is a failure.
Yeah.
When you go up to the door to investigate it more for this this check, you begin to examine it using your true sight, trying to see if there's any markings on it or anything like that. And while you don't see anything, you do immediately see a shadow walk by it. It seems as though there is a guard patrolling right outside this room. And they stop right at the door. And you can see you're kind of like below that the window, I imagine, and you can see them
and
looking in.
Signal to the other two. Get down.
So that's a failure. Septimus, you are up. I'd say they're not like saying who is that in there, but there's now someone who is face is planted at the door, looking in. What would you? Is there anything you would like to do for a skill to help with that situation?
Could I?
And then we'll go to Jacques after.
Just roll a stealth check, potentially?
One thing I'll say is if you roll a stealth check, which might be the right thing to do here, is that you can't use stealth again within this skill challenge, but this is a shorter one.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the only thing I could do, really. I don't know what else.
Roll stealth.
I don't know.
Don't fail.
No, I roll a history check to see if I know of who might be behind the door.
It's Ambassador Xenoqua.
You can't cast spells, can you? Or can you?
You can. Now, it depends on the spell. If that spell has a verbal component that's not exactly stealthy,
No,
that will affect the DC.
Yeah. I might just roll stealth check.
You should open the door and bash it into his face.
That's your move.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or, because I don't trust my goddamn stealth one bit.
Persuasion.
Can I see the person through the window?
Yes, but it's dim light, so like you can see them in terms of like, do you have sight on them? Yes.
For a spell, I have sight on them. For
yes, you definitely have line of sight.
Oh, they changed it, didn't they? Son of a bitch.
Hold up, guys. It's good old fashioned. Sean needs to plug in the battle cam computer.
That's fine. Oh shit.
Oh no.
We're good. I
haven't
got
had
it.
to do that in a long time.
Expecting the worst.
Okay. What are you trying to do, Seppi?
Am I crazy to command have like another thing was just like you can say other words, or am I just constrained to the 5 that are there? I think I'm constrained to the 5 that are there.
The other thing to remember is that command is not a long-term enchantment. It really only affects 6 seconds of the character's ability to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Ah, God, you're gonna make me roll a stealth check. All right.
6 seconds is all I need, Sean.
Doing it. Okay, I have advantage.
Thank fuck. Okay, that's better.
16.
Okay. Septimus, you just barely pass your stealth check.
Thank God I got that fucking armor.
So, the way that this works is that this was a, basically like a repair success. Like you're repairing the failure.
Yeah.
You know, so
Right,
like where
I failed.
it's not an insult. It's just when something fails, the next action can like take away the failure by being a success, or it can be its own success just for the success meter. So the person does walk away. Jacquette, you're peeking into the captain's quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And for everyone's like knowledge, like your goal right now in this particular skill challenge is to get into like both of you need to get beyond the chambers you're in, you know, into like the spaces that we'll consider infiltrated. And at that point, the new skill challenge is whatever your plan is, whatever your desired outcome is. So like Jacquette is the engine room. Those of you below, it's the machina, according to your current plan. You can change your plan, and it will change the skill challenge.
Jacquette is going to if you'll allow it, using his insight, he's going to watch the captain pace and try to understand, like, okay, I see he's kind of a little distressed maybe, so every couple of paces he stops to go get a drink of wine. Okay, he spends so much time looking at the map, like it's not just a quick glance, he's like actually looking at it, and every third time he looks at it, he's kind of becoming more in depth kind of thing. Not necessarily like perceiving, he's not looking for things, he's trying to read the reactions and the intent of the captain.
Yeah, and this is a good point that you're making here, Jacques, that I want to clarify to everyone. This initiative count is for the order of action. It's not like it doesn't have to be equivalent to the 6 seconds of combat, where this is more of a through line story of action. We're gonna everyone's gonna stay on the same timeline, so that's where I might cut elsewhere. But I think this is a great use of insight. Go ahead and give me that insight check. 28. I love it. So, Jacquette, you're perched up, peeking. Every now and then, your head peeks over the edge of the grate to just see where the guards around you are. But you're watching this man, and he does seem to start to become predictable. And it's not just predictable, but you're just sort of using your brilliant insight as a mastermind, seeing that what is this man like? You know, what is his demeanor? And you you start to devise a quick plan in your head of how you can use that movement to sneak in and get to the door that you need to get to.
And if it's asking too much, say no. But can I, if I've spent a minute here, can I use my what's it called? Insightful manipulator, spending 1 minute observing a creature outside of combat. Can I learn if he is my equal, superior, or inferior in terms of, I'm going to say, class level and wisdom?
And Pokemon card collection.
Not that.
So, how would you, as a DM, play this as, like, with, like, the class level side? Like, when it comes to, like, CR?
Yeah, so I think this came up before, and for me, CR balance-wise is, like, a CR4 is equal to 4 level 4s.
Okay.
So if he's CR15, he's better than me. I don't know how exactly to taper that out. I guess CR6.
I guess that's for you to be like, it's. I guess at a certain point, everything is better than you if they're like above the 20 as a CR. But I would say, so for class level, he is not your equal. He is inferior.
Okay, and my wisdom score is 14. Is he?
He is your equal.
Okay, good to know.
Yep. And when you guys have completed a skill challenge, if there's other things you want to accomplish in the space, you can linger. It's just inviting risk. This I will not consider as part of you lingering. After this, if you do anything else other than head towards the war room, it would be lingering. That's your safe zone.
And so like with that insight was to suss out his path and then move past him.
Correct.
Is that part of it? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool.
That's part of it. These don't have to be I know when we're playing the minutia of like combat, there has to be like, I need to then succeed on a stealth check. It's sort of all part of the if it makes sense, if there's logic to the skill's use in accomplishing it. Now, if you weren't invisible, I might invite some complications here. But because you're invisible, I think this is a very useful use of insight. Excellent. So he does not notice you. You slip to the other side where you get to the door to the war room. And you have succeeded in infiltration. You have infiltrated. You are now on to your next skill challenge, which is getting to your destination. Our other friends, you are now up to Fyrn. And of course, if you feel like you don't have a skill that's going to be helpful, like you can try to do something else to help your friends, or hold your skill check for something else too. But Fyrn, the guard has passed, or at least is not standing and staring right through the door anymore. Sass has not been able to discern if there's any magical alarms on this with a Arcana check. And Septimus has kept you all concealed. What would you like to do? Sass, you're on deck.
So this guard that is no longer there, did they just straight up walk off, or are they like patrolling? Like,
so before the guard peeked in, he seemed to be on a patrol. He left of the window. Window left is where he stepped away. So you're not sure if he's just standing right next to the door, or if he's left the next chamber, or where exactly he is in his patrol. But you do know that he's not staring directly in like he was before. There's no longer your Skyrim eye has gone back to closed.
Gotcha. And I mean, I guess stealth would be good, or maybe slide. Could I
maybe use. I mean, I don't know. Can I like just without opening it or like making a lot of noise? Can I just check if the door is open? Like just add a little thing to see if like the knob twists or what? How does it open? Is it like a crank? What are we talking about?
Great question. it this one actually, you well, do you want to find out a lot of information or just basic, like what you can just see without a check?
Without a check.
Okay, without a check, yes, it does have a twisty door thing. It does seem like this is like something that can be sealed shut, because it is exposed to the ocean. Like if this chamber was compromised, this could be sealed off to not fill the ship with water.
So I'm going to use my Ithildagnir's ability to cast like the illusion, the cantrip minor illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make a copy of this door in the other room, like just in front of the door, so it's just like looks like identical to the end of the hallway, like, but the door is like not moving essentially.
You're trying to create a copy of the door on top of the door, so when you open it, it looks like the door's still there.
Yes.
There we go. Okay. Just want to
That
make
is
sure.
if the door opens towards us, right?
Correct.
Well, I'm gonna twist it and then we'll see what happens. And could I roll a nature check for this, since it's using the Ithildagnir's like snowy illusions?
That's a compelling argument, I would say. Yeah, go ahead. Give me a nature check.
$21.
21. Okay. So you have successfully created an illusion of this door, that is superimposed on top of the door, off by like a centimeter, just because that's just the nature of it. But it would take a study action from an enemy to be able to discern that this is an illusory door for the next minute. So that does give you another success, which means that you've sort of set yourself up for the infiltration. That was your skill check.
And I will say, like, if I still have like time in my turn, sort of thing. I know it's not really turns, but like Fyrn would like basically do this and then like go to open the door, and like unless somebody stops him.
Well, when you go to open the door, like I imagine you just sort of gently grab it to try to twist it. It does not twist. This is a obstacle. This door is locked. So
well, I can't
this is a
check, so
this is a new obstacle. So you now need to beat a threshold obstacle in order to get to your next skill challenge within the next space, which just means that you've hit a wall that you need to find a solution to. That is
Literally.
Yes, it's not that this is this path is closed and you failed. This is not a failure at all. This is just a new challenge that has come before you. Is that there is some kind of, this door needs to be opened in some way.
Can I try something, or should I?
You'd have to wait till your next turn. Yeah. So Saskia, there is a locked door that you've encountered. The number one enemy of adventuring parties, and your rogue is about 100 feet above you.
Is there, like, on the other side of this door, we know that there's possibly a guard there. Well, there, or we don't know how far away it is, but is it like dark-ish on the other side?
Yes, it's dim light on the other side.
May I use my stealth check to cast Misty Step to teleport to the other side of this door quietly?
So in ordinary encounters, I would not allow it because it's a sorcerer feature. But I think that you are using your Misty Step to be stealthy. So in this skill challenge, I will allow you to essentially Misty Step and then use stealth as your skill to try to conceal that your arrival into the next space.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So there's that. I have advantage. That's pretty good. Okay, 27.
27. Okay. So for you, Shannon, you have bypassed the threshold. So you can do one of two things. You can linger to help your allies bypass the threshold, or you could move on and start the next
Just
challenge.
say, "Fuck you."
Although I
Yeah.
think the key part of your challenge is in the other room.
Well, I think my time is done here, but my thought process is now that I'm on the other side, is going to see if there's a way to open the door from this side.
So I'll give you the general layout that you would see without any kind of skill check. So you look through the bars and quickly assess where you might be able to Misty Step to a place where you might be concealed. That's really what your stealth check was. It's not you being like, I'm being quiet. It's you being like, is there a space I can teleport to that will be hidden from the people who are looking here? Like we'll conceal the little like pop of magic that is on the other end of the teleport.
Yeah.
And you do successfully do this. So you basically have teleported yourself behind a desk that's to the right of the door. That is like you're literally like crouched behind this desk, you know, a chair right next to you. As you can see in front of you, standing by a set of stairs, or I'm sorry, not stairs, a ladder leading up, is that guard. He's immediately to the left of the door looking forward. And he is at the ladder that, if you remember from the layout, leads up to the engineer's lab.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So, and then you kind of just do a quick scan, but you can't see anything too much other than what you would normally see. But you see bars. You can see this is like the brig section where there are, where they keep any prisoners.
Gotcha.
And there are prisoners in there. You would need more of a check to figure out who they are and what's in there. But you do hear like, like the groans of people who are in a bad situation. Okay. Septimus. Saskia's bypassed the locked door. You and Fyrn are still inside the locked bay. Is there anything you would like to do to try to either bypass this or do something to assist the situation? And again, like I said before, no is an acceptable answer. Now it means that you don't take a chance that you could take, but it is an acceptable answer if you're not sure what you want to do.
I mean, seeing Sass disappear. Yeah, I'll just pass.
You said pass?
Yeah.
Okay. Fyrn. Or no, I'm sorry. Not Fyrn. Jacquette. Jacquette. So you are at the precipice to the war room. You've entered into your next phase of looking for getting to the engine room. So for this one, you need 3 successes and to not fail 3 times. You're at the door. What would you like to do first? Your cooldowns on your skills have recharged. And this is
Can I
a wooden.
see-
This whole room is like wood paneled, even though it's a metal ship. And this door is like a fine wooden door that would lead into the next room. No windows on it. Regular doorknob.
I'm going to stealth.
Okay.
Out. The goal is to stealth through the war room towards the engine room.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
32.
32. Oh my god. the true sight, the full true sight beholder on the other side sees you. No. You step into the next room. You're able to open the door. It's not locked. You step into the next room, which is a longer room than this one, that has a nice long war table in it with several chairs there, with a bunch of documents spewed around. Again, there's a map of Aldhalor on this one, that has little pieces on it. You can clearly, just from a cursory glance, see the Kieranor dreadnaught on it. There are other vessels, but they don't look like any of they are a different color than the Kieranor dreadnaught. You might surmise this is their approximation of where other fleets might be in the area, or where the garrisons of Aldhalor are. You can see that there is about almost halfway through the room, there is a doorway that sort of juts out from the wall. Like there's a almost like a box door coming out where you, from your looking at the schematics, can presume this might be a stairway that leads downwards. Because on the opposite side, you see the entrance that leads out to the deck, and you can actually see that one does have a window on it, and you can see a little bit of like the pale moonlight coming in. So when I say like a box door, I mean like the wall juts out. There's a door.
Right.
There.
Okay.
There is a Violet Vanguard standing right at that door.
To the below deck.
Yep, to the engine room. There is a Violet Vanguard at the door that leads out to the deck. And sitting at the table with his legs crossed, sipping wine, like he's waiting for the captain to come out of his room, is the smiling face of Ambassador Xenaqua.
Okay.
You have reached a threshold barrier.
Yep.
But they have not detected you in here, of course. You had a success there to get through.
Mm-hmm.
So you need 2 more successes to get to the engine room in some way.
Okay.
Okay, so party. We'll call you Alpha Party. Jacquette.
Love it.
You have achieved your first success of your secondary goal, or your secondary challenge. Our friends below need to land the final of their primary challenge. We're back to Fyrn. Fyrn's Sass is on the other side of the door. You and Septimus are stuck on the other side of the door. Septimus is not sure what to do. Is there anything that you would like to try to do?
Well, I'm assuming that the door needs to be open from that side, and I can see that she's in there. So maybe I could like delay my turn or something. Is that possible?
Yeah, you can hold actions.
Ooh, holding action is not really what I had in mind.
I mean, by actions, I mean like you hold your skill contribution. You can do that. You don't have to hold like an attack. You could hold
Okay.
what you want to attempt to do with a skill.
Yeah, it's like I just don't know what is going to be in the next room, kind of, sort of. Can I look in there and see if there's... I mean...
You could do a perception skill to get more
Saskia-
information on the other side, but you do know there's at least one guy in there. Sass, you're on deck. What do you want to do?
I have a plan.
If I look in the window, is there like an obvious like locking mechanism on the other side of the door?
You would need to do a perception check for that.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
11.
That is not a success. You go and you look, and it's very hard to look through the window and not just look at the like immediate vicinity of it or deeper in the room. Like you can maybe get a little bit from the side, maybe a little bit if you look down since you're tall. But it's the best you can get with an 11 is that there is another wheel on the other side that correlates with this wheel. But this is not, I would say this is not a success for this. For bypassing the obstacle, at least. Saskia.
All right. I am gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
And the skill I want to use is persuasion. I just don't know. You tell me how we're gonna do the roll because I want to cast suggestion on the garden here, and he's gonna need to succeed on a Wisdom 20 saving
So
throw.
for something like this is just a straightforward, like, instead of using a skill, you're using the spell. So he just has to make the save.
Okay.
Like when it's something that has a hard set, like this is the function of it, then we just do the function. And if you succeed on a suggestion, that's great.
Great.
All right.
Because I'm not gonna say what it. I want to see if I'll tell you what I'm gonna say if he succeeds first, or I don't know. Do you want me to say it first, or do you want?
Yes, because you kind of have to commit to it because it's what your verbal component is.
It is okay. Great. So no more than 25 words. So I'm gonna say, climb the ladder, guard the entrance. Don't let anyone come down under any circumstances. Please.
Suggestion can't involve dealing damage to allies.
Okay, so
Well, he could grapple them.
Yeah, I guess he
and stop them.
It's the suggestion must sound achievable, which it is, I would say. Not involve anything that would obviously deal damage to the target or its allies, so I guess that would be more like attacking your allies. Stop.
you could just be like, no, you can't go here. You just get in the way.
You know what? That's pretty fair, I would say, actually. You know, if he just won't do the violent thing. He'll stop short of violence. So that I like it. Okay, so wisdom save?
Yep, wisdom 20.
Ooh, that is definitely not a success.
Excellent.
That is definitely not a success. So, I imagine you stand up. I actually imagine you whisper this from the dark.
Make it creepy.
And you say, Celia said, climb the ladder.
Here, I'll do it in my accent.
Yeah.
Climb the ladder. Stand at the top. Don't let anyone come down under any circumstances. Understood?
You see, like he looks like confused as these whispers come from the shadows. Then his eyes just sort of this red light goes into the pupils, and then vanishes. And he looks normal, and he just goes, "Understood." Turns around and climbs up the ladder, opens up the hatch, and stands at the top and is just guarding.
Okay. Can I just whisper back through the hole to them?
Yeah.
Right. I got the guard to go away. I'm gonna look and see if there's a way I can open the door from this side. So just give me a second.
Ian gives her a thumbs up, but she doesn't see it because there's an illusion in the way.
Sass, while you're talking to them, you do hear like upstairs where this guard is standing, you hear another voice saying like, "Is there something going on down there?" "No, sir." "Okay, what are you doing?" "Just guarding the entrance, sir. Not letting anyone through." All right. Just be quiet. I've got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. Okay. So, I would say that this is I'm not gonna make it a secondary skill challenge. I'd say this collectively is a success on bypassing the door. So it's literally as the guard stands up to walk up the wall, you like yoink and grab the keys off of his waist and unlock the door and open it. This is a collective success for this threshold.
I will say I am concentrating on suggestion. So
yes, keep that. Make sure you write a note down just so we don't forget, because we're going to end soon. So for next week. So you have the infiltration stage is done. Everybody is successfully infiltrated. Jacques is at his own threshold barrier, but he is one success in his secondary task. You are all now on your secondary task. We have ended the infiltration phase, which means everybody's skills are back that they already used, so you can use them again. So things like athletics, stealth for those who use stealth. For alpha team or beta team, alpha team, you've only used stealth so far in this skill challenge section. Jacques, this is what we'll end on. You see these two Violet Vanguards in Xenoqua, a group that nearly took out your whole party when you fought this number of them. As you're sitting there thinking to yourself, what's the next move? You feel a little tingle in your head, and the voice inside your head, not out loud, of Emil enters your head.
Oh.
The Zon are close. Whatever you're doing in there, you need to be done before they arrive. Once I see their banners, I will reach out and try to get you more time. But you're on the clock. If I can, I'll send more information. And that's where we're going to end tonight. All right, friends. Infiltration phase is done. Next week we will do our objective phase and see what the extraction phase looks like, because it could be many different things. Thank you, friends, for hanging out with us. We are excited to have you, and excited to have you again in the future. Join us next week or wherever you are in the world for Adrift in Aldhalor. Bye-bye.
Signing off.